Yeah, major disasters happening up the west coast, up the east coast, and that puffy cloud that keeps coming out has me concerned. Because if there was going to be a new volcano eruption, it probably happened right around there, in my opinion.
It's been an absolutely disastrous year for wildfires in California. 6 of the 20 most destructive fires in the state have happened in just the last 10 months. And those fires have destroyed nearly 10,000 structures and killed almost 50 people. Now, crews are stretched out to the limit. They're battling at least 17 fires across the state. This car fire has torched an area bigger than Denver.
Very, very hot temperatures. Lots of drought, of course, across the area. Here's a look at some of the fires going on. It's not just California that's dealing with this.
Once again, the eastern side of the USA is looking wet over the next few days.
It's going to be another soaker.
We could have flooding issues in any of these spots over the next few days.
Let's talk about the month of August. We see quite a few changes, including an uptick often in tropical activity.
Stay cool. I don't know if you know this. THORNEWS is for winners, and that's why you're here. So stick around.
Don't give up, Charlie Brown.
Stargazers around the world have sought a glimpse of a blood-red moon for the longest lunar eclipse of the 21st century.
No one wants to be the one to get caught up in a sinkhole. Luckily, the driver of that vehicle was able to get out before it fell in. The only thing missing is the theme song for the movie Jaws.
That's a rattlesnake.
Is it really? Oh my gosh, it's oh my gosh.
And look how hot it is across the continent. And I think the main message is
increasingly the weather's going to get increasingly unstable, the atmosphere getting unstable.
Large tornado on a rampage. This was in east central Wyoming. That twister ripped the roof off a house.
This is some amazing video shot recently in California of what appears to be a firenado.
Check out this video of a tornado in Savannah, Georgia.
This is the recent satellite picture. You can see this stripe of cloud. It's a frontal system. It is just lingering, wriggling around because there's a big area of high pressure in the Atlantic blocking its path. So the rain will just keep on coming as this front still wriggles around.
It's still raining very heavily in parts of the east, and this is a very weird pattern for this time of year.
Wet across the board. We are going to continue to see numerous showers and storms, some of these with the potential to be severe, including some localized flooding.
Quite a few flood threats, and you know, localized flood threats are something that people need to take more seriously.
Man, it just keeps going. Thursday, Friday, we'll even have some scattered showers around on Saturday.
Thunder and lightning very likely, perhaps some hail and gusty winds, and just a small chance for tornadoes.
We had flooding in places like Virginia, Pennsylvania, Alabama, North Georgia, just to name a couple of spots. And I'm not just talking this week, last week also. And we've got all these current flood alerts that are out right now. We've got a lot of flood watches that are out. And this is basically highlighting the area where we have the greatest chance to see some really heavy rain that could cause some flooding.
So pretty unsettled in New York for the next couple of days.
Well, that's what's interesting. So the question is, how does he respond to that?
United we stand, divided we fall. Catch on fire, and then drowned. Nobody wants that. The West Coast is fuego. We had a volcanic eruption down here in Mexico yesterday. So the only place that is cool right now is anyone under the rain. Look at all that tropical moisture. It almost looks like an endless supply. That's the situation. So there's going to be major massive flooding. You got the hot heat and the wet rain. Your jet stream is done busted. As every meteorologist keeps pointing out, this is more like a spring pattern. Or winter. This is not a normal pattern for the summer. Notice how the jet stream just dips down all the way into Texas, creating a poop chute for all the moisture to come out of. All right, that was gross. Yet a dongle here, 3 swirlies here. It's a major situation, people. And over in Asia, it looks like 2 dolphins kissing. It's time for people to come together. Like, how can people not notice the weird weather? We can either come together as one Earth family and adapt with all ideas on the table, if we let the cooler heads prevail, or we can watch our dreams set sail. I mean, look at that. That is what we're dealing with right here, right now. So people need to be ready. Be ready, be prepared, have a plan. Things are crazy, getting crazier. And look at that kick coming across the Azores High. That is wild. That is just nuts. And look at all that. Look at all that moisture. Look at all that rain. And it's going to last for a couple of days. Technically, it's a 2-week wet pattern. So you got major flooding up the mid-Atlantic as this flood watch serpent slinks its way from the south. And you got major heat and major fires across the west. That's a lot of fires, people. A lot of the United States be burning right now. It's not just California. We're talking Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Montana, Washington, Oregon. Mother Nature's tearing up stuff way faster than we are building it. Now is the time to come together. Look at that giant moisture stream just pumping. And look at how it continues to just pump out moisture from the Gulf. This is going to cause a lot of flooding, a lot of major flooding, and a lot of problems. I don't like the system that's retrograding over the Azores High because it's just weird. Yeah, if you can't tell that looks like a major problem, then you need to go back to pattern recognition school, bro. That's how this thing don't move, man. It's the next 48 hours. So you're just going to have rain for the next 48 hours. Sometimes heavy, sometimes not. Maybe even tornado-y. August is the hottest month. The fires are going to get worse. And I got a feeling it's going to get floodier. We have been seeing record amounts of rain on the East Coast. Mother Nature has been picking on the East Coast. And this area has seen a ton of rain in the last month. Up north, you are going to have some heavier bands, but the majority of the worst weather and the flooding is going to be in the southeast. And we still got a whole lot of moisture coming, man. We got a whole lot of moisture coming. This will continue through Thursday and through Friday, probably through the weekend. The jet stream is pulling all that moisture out of the Gulf and the tropics, spitting it around the Azores High of the East Coast. So it's going to be a wet and stormy pattern with the worst storms coming when Pacific moisture combines with the tropical moisture, combines with the Gulf of Mexico moisture. It's going to cause for some rapid, intense rainfall rates. We've been breaking records all over, whether it be heat records, rain records, you name it. It's wild. What we're looking at here is total cloud water. And as you can see, Mother Nature's got a lot to play with here. I mean, that is a giant rain band, man or ma'am. The West Pacific is still getting the brunt of the rain and cyclonic activity. Africa has been providing us a dust shield, which has kept tropical activity pretty low. But yeah, that's the situation. We got to break the mainstream media's ironclad hold in the American mind, because it's definitely time for us to start working together, finding higher ground, and preparing for these earth weather changes, which are coming at us faster and faster, weirder and weirder. I want to thank everyone for being awesome and amazing. With 3 days left, we're halfway there to saving THORNEWS for August. And remember, August and September are usually the most active hurricane months. My hurricane skills are amazing. We got $300 to go, with today the 1st, tomorrow the 2nd, and the 3rd is rent day. So through your contributions and donations, we will keep kicking ass. So everybody stay cool. So if you would like to help keep THORNEWS alive and reward all my hard work over these 5.75 years, I will leave a PayPal link at the bottom in the information box. And then there's always my P.O. box if you want to send me a letter. They're small gifts. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And we will do it together. Have some faith. Stay cool.
We do have a severe weather threat today, and it does encompass parts of the Northeast where, of course, some of our major airport hubs are situated. So if you're planning on doing some traveling, especially by air, you may see some delays. An Aeromexico plane that took off during stormy weather in Durango, Mexico, crash landed on Tuesday. Authorities said gusty winds hit the Embraer 190 plane just as it was taking off.
THORNEWS is coming at me, and he's gonna science shit. If it's happening in a galaxy, then Thor is all over it. Hurricane, solar flares, Planet X, how humanity's gonna destroy itself at each other's necks. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. No, I don't know if you know this. THORNEWS is who it is, baby. THORNEWS is the one, baby. THORNEWS is who it is, baby. THORNEWS is the one, baby. THORNEWS is full of wisdom, he's cracking jokes and he's fucking fun.